listening, experiencing perspectives, ideas, insights, how people are feeling within this industry. Sometimes that's a little bit heated, which is all good. We're also answering questions and trying to understand, making sense of where we are in the industry, how it's moving forward, and so that essentially everybody can do what they're doing better. They can make fresh new business as well and take that forward. So we've been doing that the last couple of days. Today is no different as we continue with our third and final day together. Right, so this right now, this productive discussion on stage, I wouldn't say it was a debate, more of a discussion, a healthy discussion, productive discussion, as you can see, all about influencer culture and that impact it has on the adult industry. So we're going to delve a little bit deeper from three people and our moderator as well to take that discussion forward to help us understand this here, the influencers culture, that the impact it has on the industry, but also the impact it will have on you in terms of what you do as well. I'm intrigued as much as you are how this is going to unfold right now. So ladies and gentlemen, please a warm welcome to our panelists and our moderator. So please welcome Blanche, Summer, Evelyn, Nelly Kent, and our moderator who's going to shape this in the right way naturally, Devious Angel.
So this is working. Hello guys, I'm so happy to be here in front of you, and we are having here one of the most amazing influencers on the adult industry. I'm going to start, I'm actually having like 9 questions, but if you have any questions in mind, please feel free to raise your hand and we'll give you the microphone. The first question is, how has influencer culture evolved in the recent years and what major trends are we seeing? I mean, influencer culture 5 years ago, it's a little bit different now. What's new today?
Hello everybody, I'm Blanche Summer and I'm so happy to be here with you. Yeah, we were talking earlier, Devi, that for the models nowadays, for the influencers and for the porn actresses, it's so much easy to be in this business because when I started like 18 years ago, there was no internet, there was no smartphones, so I had to record movies on discs and put it in the PC, and I had to make articles in the newspaper to be well known and to be more famous on the market. But nowadays it's more easy because of the social media, because of the podcasts, like they have more options.
It's something like you have classes now how to be an influencer, no? So you have someone that tried how to be an influencer and she's giving you a book, be an influencer, no? That's what you mean? Like you have access to informations now.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
I said that it's something like you have now available classes how to be an influencer. Back in the time you didn't have.
You didn't have. You really had to work hard, so it's more easy nowadays. They're more lucky.
Any other ideas, girls? What's new? What was 5 years ago? That's not.
I think the fact, hi everyone, first of all. I think the fact that it's just, first of all, it's a cultural point of view, right? Before people were not so open like they are today, yeah? So that made a big and huge impact. Already when we started with webcam, that was a huge, like, oh my God, they are doing webcam, they are showing their asses, blah, 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 blah. Now look at us today, we are doing adult content with OnlyFans, with different platforms, and as well XXX adult content. So that has changed because I guess people changed the mentality, people changed the way that they are seeing the industry, and that has helped a lot of people to come out from their shells. So that's pretty good, I guess.
Thank you. That's actually a very nice answer, you and Blanche as well. Can you describe the positive impact influencer culture has had on adult industry and also why any bad aspects? How does being an influencer impact in a good way being an adult influencer? Because there is a difference.
Well, so the thing is that, first of all, it was porn. only porn. I mean, it was webcam then porn business, right? And then we came up, they came up with all this website, OnlyFans, many vids, and so on, so on, so on, so on. And the bad impact, I would say that it had, but not in a bad way. I mean, yeah, people lost their job in the porn business as directors and so on because girls were doing much more money on the webcam, on these OnlyFans platforms and so on. But at the same time, the producers and the productions, like as you can see, Emma, for example, she's a very good example. They are putting, she's been doing so great with OnlyFans, right? So now she's being in the adult industry because she has a great fan base, which it brings the people in porn, people that maybe they have never watched or they have never shown any interest, and so on. On the other side, as far as I know that in 2021, and as well now, OnlyFans has shut down the adult content. And that's because, again, of MasterCard and everything that's going on with the payments method. As well for porn, the difference between these two is that on OnlyFans, they couldn't track these little things as child abusers and so on. They couldn't track this. Instead, on the porn website, we have all this hashtag, and there's a pretty good system that is following all these things. So they get down very easily, yeah? So that's good. But on the other way, there are people who feel much more closer on these platforms as OnlyFans, many vids, and so on. They feel like they have a personal relationship. Instead, when you go on a porn website, you don't have any interaction with no one. There is no, it's just a video there to show you something, and that's it. Instead, as I said, there is a lot of work in the porn business, a lot of work in the OnlyFans, and that's why I've always said I don't have the patience to do these platforms, because I'm not the type of person to answer to the people, how are you, what are you doing, and everything, because I really don't care. So that's why I appreciate so much the girls who are doing this type of platforms, because myself, I can never do it. I could never do it.
Thank you. Lunch?
Yeah, but on the other side, it's also very hard to work in porn. And you know that because you have direct contact with the people, and there are so many kind of people, some of them not nice, which I prefer to be a webcam model and OnlyFans creator. For me, it's more easy like that, and it's, yeah, it gives me more pleasure.
And freedom
so.
as well, no?
Sorry?
And freedom.
Yeah.
Pleasure and freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
Evelyn, you have something to say about this topic?
Hi, it's my first time here and I have a truck.
It's okay.
It's okay.
We're here to help you.
I prefer more webcam.
Okay.
I'm doing webcam more than OnlyFans.
Okay, but do you think that it's hard jumping from webcam modeling to be an influencer in adult industry? I mean, what does an influencer in adult industry does more than a webcamming? Girls?
I'm going to help her out.
Yeah.
And I want to say on a positive way that the webcam girls are helping a lot of people that they have different fetishes, yeah? So here we are talking about child abusers, different type of people who have different type of fetishes, right? So that keeps them away from pitching girl on the streets, from doing these kind of things, doing things to their own child or to their own wives. And once they log in, they know that there is going to be a girl who is accepting their fetishes and whatever is in their mind, and no one is judging them. And it's tough for us as a models, because I've been a webcam models, it's very tough, but at the same time you have to think that we help in one way those people, because they are not going to act in a bad way to the people from the outside world.
Sorry, I have something to say. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't want to encourage that. I have a lot of sick people coming to me while I'm online with a lot of stuff that I can't do it because it's, I don't know, it's against my nature and it's not normal, not even to think like that. So I don't want to encourage that. I always tell him, you go and you treat yourself. This is not normal. I don't want to do these things because...
Yeah, but
Yeah,
as an
true.
adult influencer, being an adult influencer, you get to have the same people in your DMs that you actually get on cams?
No, it's totally different.
Yeah, that's why I
Debbie.
asked.
It's totally different.
What's the difference between what you get as a webcam model and what you get as an influencer in adult industry?
Yeah, because most of the people that are coming online, they will, most of them, I'm not saying all of them, they will just see you like a piece of meat, you know, but my real fans that I have it on social, some of them, they see also my real life, how I'm spending my time, more personal stuff about myself, so they appreciate me in another way.
So it's like being a cam model, they see you as a service, and being an adult influencer, they see you as a goddess, as
Yeah.
something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's true. Are there any emerging platforms that offer more freedom for adult industry influencers? I mean, what platforms can you use as an adult influencer so you can have more freedom? I mean, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, which one is, or other platforms, which one is more open, giving more freedom to the adult influencers?
I'm using Twitter most of the time. Yeah, it gives me more freedom. I don't have TikTok or something like that, so the girls can say because they have and they use it.
You have? You guys have TikTok?
Yeah, I have, but I'm using Twitter too more.
So you're using Twitter more than TikTok, no? Okay.
Well, it's so funny because yesterday we have been using Twitter for promoting adult content, right? And it's so funny because this Mr. Elon Musk yesterday gave the rule of God of allowing porn on Twitter, which made me laugh a lot because we have been promoting this business for so long and so many years.
Yeah.
And that was quite a shock. Oh, really? You're allowing us to, I've been showing my ass for 10 years and you're allowing us today to do that. Oh my God, what a great idea. But besides that, there's Twitter. The girls who are doing webcam, I think they can use TikTok. And I know you have a team here in Studio 20, yeah, that was they were doing this type of things. So I think TikTok is great for the influencers as well for the webcam models. Instagram is good. Instagram doesn't work for me as an adult performer because I get banned every time.
It's not allowing it, yeah.
It's not allowed anything, even if I am dressed, even if I put a picture with my pets, with anything, I just get blocked and that's it. It's the end of my life. But it's still selling. I'm still selling, thanks God, because of my name. But it's funny. But for the webcam girls, I know that it's so difficult to deal with this, with all these social medias that you have 3-4 platforms and everything. That's why at the booth I saw so many companies that they are managing the profiles of the girls. But as far as I know, Studio 20 has, you guys already have a pretty good team regarding this subject.
As an adult influencer, you do content, okay? And maybe you have 3-4 platforms you promote your content, as I said, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. The content you do and you post is different on each platform? I mean, you do one picture or 10 pictures and you post them, or you do some special content for TikTok, you do some special content for Twitter and...
All the platforms have different rules. So when I want to promote something, I make a different type of content for each platform. Like, for example, on Instagram, I would just post a picture, not so explicit, and I would just put my link there. On Twitter, maybe a bit of flash or something, like a little bit more explicit. So we just follow the rules of every platforms.
Yes, true.
Me, what can I say? I don't do webcam, so my ass is all over the Twitter. I'm so sorry for that, as I shoot adult content.
But you're an adult influencer.
Exactly.
Cam girl or porn star, you're an adult
influencer, exactly. And I cannot talk about promoting myself on Facebook, Instagram, and so on, because it doesn't work for me. I would love that it would work for me, but unfortunately for me and other partners in my business, it doesn't work, and that's fine. But other thing, what I wanted to say is that it's so annoying, and I'm so sad that many ambassadors are not here, because they could learn so many things as well regarding these platforms, that they are changing the contracts every single 6 months, which is annoying. And they have here support and people that they could talk to, and they are not here, you know. So we are here to help them to do all these kind of things, you know. And yes, that's life.
We have here the people that want to grow, and that's all. How can adult influencers ensure long-term success and stability? What can an online influencer, adult influencer, can do so he can grow? What's the recipe?
I don't know,
What's the secret?
First of all, I think that consistency and discipline, and moreover, to like what you do. I mean, I'm doing like the same thing since I was 18 years old, and I'm 36 right now. You need to like what you do. And if you're good at something, never do it for free. So.
Do you have also a schedule planned, like for 1 week?
Like you mean at work, or?
I mean as an adult influencer.
Like an adult influencer.
I'll do today 5 pictures, tomorrow I go there, I do that, I have makeup, I buy that, I buy that.
You know me. I have makeup every day, I'm preparing myself. Like every day, it's a lifestyle for me. It's not only work, it's a lifestyle, yeah.
So following a schedule is a good idea if you want to grow as an influencer.
Of course, and
no?
Wherever I'm going, even if I'm eating something or having a drink, I always post. Engagement, it's very important. You need to keep your fan base update with your life, with yourself,
with anything, no?
With anything, yeah.
Well, myself, I have invested a lot of money in myself. I created my own brand. And why I did that is because I'm thinking about the future. Maybe one day I'm gonna get married. Maybe one day I'm gonna have a kid. Maybe one day I would just wanna travel the world and fuck the life. But at the same time, what I've created on my side is I have over 400 movies at the moment produced by me that they are not even uploaded. So it's a very good idea to have something to the side for the years that they are coming. If you want to keep going with your own brand, with your name, and if you still want to be an influencer, but on the other side, you know, to have your personal life, but to still show that you're still active, so people don't know what's going on into your personal life. So that's what I've been doing myself. And that's what I'm encouraging a lot of girls to think about the future. Don't think about now that you're making money, you're buying a nice car, a nice apartment, you have a good boyfriend, but you never know what's gonna happen in the future. If you're gonna get sick, like in my case. So thanks God that I made some investments, and yeah, that keeps me going. For when I was sick, for example, I didn't work for 2 years, and I've been doing quite good, much better than when I was in the business. That's the funny part. And that kept me going, and it's good.
Yeah, I have a word that says success is not just for the present, success is also for the future.
Exactly.
So that fits your answer. We all talk about what to do and how to do it, but no one talks about the mental health in the adult industry or being an influencer. So what mental health challenges do influencers in the adult industry commonly face?
Well, it's going to be shocking what I'm about to say. I have myself some issues. I'm not hiding from anyone since I was a kid. I've been abused. And when I entered the porn business, I went to a lot of psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists, and so on. And mostly, the answer that I've got when I was asking every time, what kind of audience do you have? Like, what kind of people are coming to you? The answer was, like, from all the different clinics and so on. The answer was, well, 80% they are from adult industry. And most of them are men. And that shocked me. And as someone said, everyone is focusing on the girls, which is not bad at all. But men in the industry have their own issues as well, and they have a background as well. And to me, it seems a little bit that they get to the side a little bit. And that's disappointing. But now, since so many girls are speaking out for the men, for the boys, and so on, it starts to get a little bit bigger and to have a bigger voice regarding these aspects. But it's very important, even if, like Blanche was saying, she's working for so long, and like you said, you said to me that you can do therapy and so on.
Exactly. I mean, admitting that you have some issues, because we live in a society, we all have issues.
We all have issues, not only in this business. Like, I think what I've seen is that when they request, for example, we have a client, yes, and they tell us, please produce this type of movie. And when we are reading the script, the whole crew, we are saying, like, the guy is insane. And the guy is not even in the business. He's just a customer who is paying like 100,000 euro to make a movie. And it's completely crazy, his ideas, his everything. And it's just a normal business person. So what I've seen myself is that even how much we get criticized by the society itself, it has a lot of issues. And unfortunately, they refuse to accept that we all have some issues.
Correct.
Yeah, I do think that this job, it's not for everyone. So whenever I'm receiving messages from the young girls that they would like to do porn or webcam or whatever, I'm not putting them in this line. I mean, I'm asking them many times, are you sure you want to do this? Because I know this job is not for everyone. It's very hard.
Yeah, that's true. So now I'm going to ask the audience a question. Do you know what's the main difference between a doctor and an adult industry performer? Is there any difference? Anyone having any idea? The difference between a doctor and a webcam model or an adult online industry influencer?
Come on, go on. You can ask whatever you want.
I'm going to say the answer, but I want to see if you have any. Yeah, Brutus?
So the difference between a doctor and a webcam model. I'm just gonna take a guess. I don't know if that's the right answer. Probably the doctor is like helping you physically. The webcam model is helping you mentally, sort of.
Exactly, so it's quite the same. The doctor is taking the garbage, let's say, inside of you or outside of you, and the cam model or the adult influencer, it's helping you taking the garbage you have in your mind, cleaning. So it's quite the same. Now, we have any questions from the audience for the girls? No one?
Everyone's shy today.
Well, in this case,
Or they're just happy. They're just happy with everything they've heard. I'm sure if, again, you're curious or you'd like to know more, or you maybe want to challenge them on something privately, you can do that as well. You'll be here, ladies, for the rest of the day, I'm sure. As is Devious Angel. So ladies and gentlemen, hands together for our first session of the day. Panelists and Devious Angel, thank you so much. Do you want a quick picture together? I guess you do. Perhaps a photograph together here on the stage. We'll take a few pictures.
And thank you so much for those who have been coming. We appreciate it.
A quick photograph together. There we go. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on now to our next session of the morning. So during that session there, we jumped into a selection of ideas, a selection of topics as well. This next session right now is essentially looking at setting those boundaries, trying to avoid the burnout and that side of the industry. And that, I guess, I can imagine, affects every single one of us, not always just the people that are in front of the camera, but also in the other parts of the industry as well. This next discussion, debate, healthy, productive discussion here on stage will, again, hopefully help us to, or first of all, highlight some of those issues, but more importantly, maybe help us in some way, in some little way even, just to kind of make sense of that and try to move forward in a more healthy and productive way, right? So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on to the stage in terms of your claps and applause for our panelists and our moderators. So please welcome Eva, Oline, Goddess, Lilith, Brutus K, Leah Cam, and our moderator, a wonderful moderator who I said I was scared of. I still am, in some ways, but I know underneath somewhere there's a very soft side to you inside. So Maria, take it away. You are now the moderator of this session.
Thank you so much. You should be scared, because in my studio they used to call me Hitler.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why was that?
Because I'm very tough. Right now I'm happy that we have another manager for trainers, and she's the new Hitler. So
okay.
I can be sweet. So I have Brutus. Someone is missing. Who's missing? Eva? It's not here? Someone else from the audience wants to join us? No? Okay. We have Brutus, we're gonna manage. So we wanna talk about boundaries and burnout. They are two different things. So boundaries, we have boundaries between our work life and our free time life. And then we have boundaries at work. Brutus, tell us, for how long have you been into this industry and how you settle your boundaries between work and personal life?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining this seminar. To answer your question, I've been in this industry for quite a while now. During my years, I did see some challenges for me in my personal life. I mean, what I was doing, it basically at some point affected my life. But unfortunately, it affected my life exactly when something bad happened. That's the moment when I realized that, okay, so work, it affects me. When everything was okay, I never thought that maybe, this kind of work does something bad to my mental health. No, I guess the whole thing waited until something bad happened in my, let's say, personal life, and then that was the moment when I realized that work is affecting me. So right now, to just give you a straight answer, I try to, when I'm taking my break, when I'm not working, I just try to do stuff on the opposite side of my work. Like, for example, I spend many hours in one room doing my work. So when I'm off, it's not something that I wanted to do, but it's something that that my mind felt like doing. Like, I like to drive away from the city. So basically, I sit many hours in one room, surrounded by four walls. In my free time, I just like to travel. I just like to go and see and, see how the world sort of like passes by and, visit places and, hang out with my family. At the same time, yeah, this is one of them. When I'm working, basically, okay, you're talking to people, but those people are basically users, letters, names. You're not actually talking to that person. You don't see that person. Even if that person is on webcam, sometimes they're doing cam to cam. It's not the same thing as being face to face with a person. So when I'm working, I'm realizing that I'm basically talking to a computer. And when I want to take some days off, I just want to hang out with my family, with my friends, with, let's say, real people. Not that the people on the websites are not real, but it's just the image that you are basically talking to a computer.
So talking about free time, I know what I'm doing right now. I have a lot of friends from this industry. So even when we are not at work, so we are at the restaurant, our main discussion is work. What happened to work, complaining about work, telling stories about work. At some point, I felt like work is never out for me, so I don't have free time for myself. Are you doing that mistake as well? Do you talk with your family or your friends all the time about work?
My friends, I mean, I'm talking about my best friends. Not everybody knows what I'm doing. They don't ask me about my work. They know what I do, but they never ask. And I don't talk about, I do have some friends who are doing
but you don't talk about this. It's not, girl, let me tell you what I did today.
Because I tried to do it at some point, but it was just, oh, okay, not interesting or nice or wow. And that was it. So I just don't want to, if they're not interested in my work, I'm not just going to tell them what I do. I mean, I'm not going to share stories unless it's really a great story.
Okay. Goddess Lily. For how long have you been to this industry, and tell us about your boundaries and what do you talk with your friends?
Hey everybody, I'm Goddess Lilith. I have been in the industry for 25 very long years, and I have done all different types of sex work, pretty much everything that you can think of, except for full service sex work. But I have done a lot of in-person domination sessions and sugar babying and things like that. So boundaries for me mean turning off my phone. Like once I get tired, I have sort of a, there's a few different soft limits I have, which you also have to decide with yourself, because a lot of our money comes at night, but also rest is important. So if you decide I'm only going to stay up until 2 a.m., which is basically my hard cutoff time, you should stick to it and don't let anybody try to push those boundaries. If you want me to stay up past 2 a.m., you have to be paying me hundreds of dollars. You have to be making it really worth my while. And I also keep my work phone and my personal phone separate. So sometimes I will just turn the phone off and leave it for, a whole day sometimes if I feel like I really need it. Of course, when you are an entrepreneur, there's always something to do. You can be working every single day, and when your clients want to beat off, they want to beat off right then. And sometimes you just have to say no, even if you could use that money. You have to think about your long-term longevity. Like I said, I have 25 years, so for me, there's been some periods of stepping away from it for a couple weeks, couple months. My longest break, I think, was about 6-7 months. And I just really needed some time to reset and decide how much money was important to me versus how much living my life was important to me. And one thing I also believe in is taking vacations frequently. We are lucky because we can do our job from anywhere, and that means that we can take our work with us if we want to. So I usually am traveling every month. A lot of these are business trips, but I make sure I have a real vacation where I turn off my phone, I have a personal assistant, I let the assistant do some of the things that I don't want to deal with while I'm on vacation, and I just completely unplug. I have my me time, I have my time with my family and my friends, and like you guys were saying, sometimes you just have to not talk about work. Sometimes, I love what I do, and I'm a workaholic, and I think a lot of us here are, otherwise we wouldn't be here right now. And so for me, I love talking about work, but it's not healthy to just talk about work all the time. So it is really important to set up those sorts of blocks of time. Even you can schedule them. I recommend putting them in your schedule or making a reminder on your phone even, have you had self-care time? Have you had downtime? That was a tip that I got from somebody else, and it's worked really well for me because we all get really busy and we get caught up in our work. And I look down at my phone, I'm like, oh, no, I haven't done anything for myself today at all. I forgot to eat earlier. Raise your hand if you've forgotten to eat Like, because you've been working for like 8 or 10 hours and you're just like, oh, I feel like shit. It's because you're not eating, or drink some water, like listen to your body. That's important too. So those are just some of the things that I do.
Okay, now I have a personal question, because sometimes it really happens to have a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, and to ask you to do something that you do at work. Can you send me a naked picture, a video? Can you do me a show? Did this ever happen to you? And if it did, how it made you feel?
Yeah, for one of my relationships, I had a guy who was submissive, and he wanted to explore being submissive with me. And at first I was like, oh yeah, sure. This is whatever. It's like I do this all day long. And then every time we had intimacy, it just turned into me feeling like I was at work all the time. So eventually I let some time go by, and I realized that he's pretty inexperienced, so he didn't even really understand that he was sort of taking advantage of my time. So I just had a conversation, and I said, look, I feel like I'm at work right now, and I cannot continue to be your service top all the time. If that's what you're looking for, maybe we can change our relationship a little bit. But I just have to tell you that I don't really enjoy doing these activities 24/7. So sometimes I need things to just be vanilla. And after that conversation, things got a lot better. And so I'm really glad that we talked about it. And it's important to stand up for yourself in situations like that, because if they really love you or they're really into you, like, they're going to respect that. And if they don't, well, there's the door.
Brutus?
Well, for me, it's kind of complicated to answer your question, because let's say at work, certain people ask me to do some things that it's kind of hard, that, let's say, the other gender is not really into, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do understand you, but to have a girlfriend and to say, I want sexy pictures with you, and imagine being just sexy, and you just felt like it was work. It wasn't asking you as a person, he was asking the model, Brutus, to send something.
No, it never felt like that. I mean, I knew that she was asking the person, and I'm okay with it. I mean, whatever my partner wants to do, if they have like a special request, I just do it. I'm open with it. The thing is, I will have to sort of implement what I do online in a show to implement it in real life. So it's not like, so how do you want me to sit? You want me to sit like this? So I would just have to do it without the concern that I might need some directions like I do in the private shows, or things like that. So, but that would be like really easy. So I don't have any problems doing stuff like that. I actually encourage for my partner to, I'm open to any suggestions.
Okay, someone from the audience ever experienced that? Yeah, raise your hands, because I do. Like, I cannot send pictures to my husband, and we are together for 7 years. He never asked me, but if he would, I would just, no. Naked pictures are for members. Do you have a questions? Anyone wants to share that experience?
Yes, I have the same experience with my husband. I'm new in the industry. I started just a few months ago, and he started to treat me like a model on the websites, even when his preference on the website are different than how I look. And it was, no, pay them. I'm not here to please you all the time. I've been with you for 14 years. So.
Hi. It's not really a question as much as it's a little tip. So I'm here with my boyfriend, and I'm the cam model. And what we do is, when we have anything to do with us, so not camming, just our relationship, I never wear lingerie that I wear at work. So we have our separate ones, our separate sets, so he doesn't feel like I'm just bringing what Sophie does on cam to our relationship. It's just what works for us. It's like we're separating my career from my sex life. And I think that helped us a lot. Sometimes even with the toys, like I just keep my work toys there in my workroom, and whatever we use personally is just our stuff. Even if it's the same sort of toy, it's the same brand, but it's just a different one.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I have to explain that even when my boyfriends and now also my husband asked me to do our first video call, I was afraid what he's going to ask me. It was just a video call, but my heart was pumping. Maybe he will ask me to get undressed, and it's like, this is going to be the end. Lucky for me, he's still my husband, didn't ask me to undress. We don't have sex anymore. Okay, about burnout. Have you ever experienced burnout?
Oh, yeah. But to go back at the seminar where you were talking about complaining and burnout, in our work. So burnout in our work, complaining in our work. I think the burnout in our work is not, I mean, when you're having a bad week or a bad month or a bad day, you cannot say that you're burned out. I think the burnout comes when you're like doing, the burnout in our industry comes when you're doing completely other stuff. Like when you're traveling, when you're doing also anything that's not related to work. That's when the burnout from webcam or from OnlyFans or from porn gets to you. It's like something that is hidden, and it only reveals itself in specific situations. So when you actually think that you're burned out because of work, probably you're complaining. The burnout comes only when you're not working, you're not related to work. You just realize that at some point it's too much, and then you go back and you see that the burnout actually comes from, I don't know, a certain moment in your life, and probably from work, most of it from work. I don't know exactly. I mean, I'm still, everybody has its struggles. Sometimes I feel them, they're there, they're present in my life, but, I just try to relax. I just try to, move my attention to something else. I just want to think about something positive, and I just want to be surrounded by, people who give me some good energy, and more or less, and to, make it a bit short, it's still there, but the thing is how to keep it low, because I don't think you'll ever get rid of it, but keep it at a very, very low level.
Thank you. Kādas lietas?
Yeah, so I think that things that lead to burnout can be not having clearly defined boundaries, not only with yourself, but with your fans. Because when I first started doing in-person dominatrix work, I was putting myself through college. So I did this for 1 year, I did it full time. I saw whoever wanted to come through the door that would pay my rate. I didn't really care what they looked like. I didn't really care what their kinks were. I would just do whatever they requested that wasn't like a serious violation of something I didn't want to do or something like that. So, but by doing that, by catering to all of these sessions that I didn't really want to do, I fucking hated it after just a few months, and I wanted to just quit and leave the industry, but I couldn't because it was my job, and that's, again, how I was putting myself through college. I've never had any financial assistance from anyone in my family or anything like that, so for me, it was sort of almost a survival thing. But looking back on that time, I really wish that I had taken the time to think about within myself, what are the things that I want to do? What are the things that I don't really like to do, but I will tolerate, but that won't really bother me? What are things that are on my, wow, I really don't want to do that list? So if you have things on that list and your customers come into your room or see you in person or whatever and want you to do those things, you have to just say no. You have to understand that clients are there and they're going to push you. They're going to try to get whatever they can from you, even if you do say no. Like, men and women sometimes are just going to keep pushing you, and you have to know where that line is. And again, thinking about the big picture, is it more important to get that $500 in the moment to do something that you really don't want to do and it's going to bother you for a long time? Or is it more important to look at the longevity of your career as a whole? Because if you take that $500 now, but then you get completely disgusted and you end up quitting, then you're losing much more money than you actually gained by doing the thing that you didn't want to do. So don't let your fans and your customers push your boundaries. Just be really firm. And you also have to think about within the type of work that you want to do yourself, because as we all know, being a content creator is so many different jobs lined up in one thing. You're not just an entertainer, but you have to be good at marketing, social media, graphics, video editing, things like that. I guarantee that not everybody here is really into all of those things, and I realized at a point in my life I really did not like video editing. I would make so many clips. I loved making the clips, but they just sat there on my computer, and I would sit there and try to make myself edit them. And I realized it was just completely killing my enthusiasm. So even though it took me some time to convince myself that the money of paying someone else to do it was worth it, I finally came around to that decision, because I can be really stubborn sometimes, especially when it comes to like things revolving around money and spending money. But I wish I had realized sooner that I really don't like this particular job. I would rather hire someone to do it. And that money has been so worth it. And if anyone needs a video editor in this room, feel free to ask me afterwards, because I can pass him along to you. He's amazing. Not only does he edit my videos, but he manages my whole clip stores, because to be quite honest, I want nothing to do with them. I enjoyed it when I first started back in clips in like 2004 or something like that. You know, we're 20 years later. I hate dealing with clip sites. I don't want to log into them. I haven't logged into my own clip site in like 2 years, because I found somebody that was good and I trust them. They do good work. All I do is look at the numbers and see that revenue is coming in and it's going great. So it's okay to not do everything. I think that there's this pressure on us to do everything, to be completely like every aspect of your business, you're expected to do it yourself. There's a sort of unspoken thing, I feel like, but it's okay to delegate things to someone else. Since then, I have also hired someone else to do my social media, and I have also hired someone else to do some of my OnlyFans chatting when I'm at events like this, so I don't have to. It's completely okay. And just, really reevaluate, check in with yourself every 6 months. Do I enjoy doing this anymore? Can I just delegate this to someone else? Delegate, delegate, delegate. That is one of the major things that will help prevent burnout.
Okay, and the last question, do you find this working into this industry as a normal job, or it's like a special one? Nobody understands us.
A bit of both, I guess. I treat it like a normal job. I work my hours online. I also do my social media, my videos. Basically, I do everything for my work. And regarding what she said, that she hired something that at some point it was too much, I don't think I would do that, because I like it. I like to take care of my social media, of my videos. I know that sometimes it's too much, but at some point I have I'm thinking like, so everything that I did until this moment, it was my work. Good for me. I actually think about that. Good for me. I didn't have any help. Nobody helped me. Everything that I did. So that brings me a bit of a joy, after all those hard working hours online or doing the videos or things like that. So to add a bit of something to what she said, it feels good. It gives me good pleasure to know that everything that I did was, my work. Can you repeat the question, please?
Let me put it like this. When you have an argument with someone that doesn't understand your work, do you go like, yeah, you have a normal job, mine is special, you cannot understand it? Do you ever felt like that?
Some of my friends or some of the people that I know, okay, they have like regular jobs, but sometimes I call them and they're like,
So
what
they
do you...
have regular jobs, you don't.
I consider it a regular job, but okay, let's say for the outside people, it's a different kind of job.
Why they are outside? So people working into like, I don't know, finance, they say the outside jobs, they are not into finance. Because I find it very interesting. We have like, they have outside jobs. They are not into our industry. But if you go to finance, they don't tell you that you're from outside, you'll never be able to understand how I struggle. Why do we feel like this?
I usually just tell people, a lot of people are ignorant about it. You know, they're just like, oh, you just get on camera and spread your legs. That's not a real job.
Do you know how ignorant I'm about finances? I don't know what the guys are doing. Yeah.
But to those people, I just say, it's a business. You're running an entire business, and that means working every single day. And that usually gets them to kind of like stop and think like, oh wow, you know, I never really thought about it like that. They don't see all of this behind the scenes stuff on top of just the performance. They just see the thirst traps that we post on Twitter, and they're like, that's the whole job. That's usually what I say to people who give me shit for my job. But yeah, and one more thing about your reply. Notice that he said when he didn't hire anybody that he liked doing it. That's the difference here. I don't know, like, at what point I stopped liking it, maybe 5 or 6 years in, but really be sensitive to that. Pay attention to what's inside. Do you like doing this anymore? Once you get to the point where you don't like it, you don't like some aspect to it, then consider that. But if you like it, totally, by all means, ride that wave as long as you can.
Yeah, just to continue, when people ask me, is this prostitution? I say, when you do something that you don't like it and you have to sell yourself, that is prostitution. So when you stop liking it and understanding, then you go to the line where they are right. We do prostitution online. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your thoughts. Thank you for being such a patient audience. See you next year. Also, stay here. Don't go, anyone. We have the debate. I will be there. We will be with the sides. It's going to be a fight. He's going to kick me out of the stage. Go away.
Yeah, probably. We'll see. We'll see. No, we won't. Ladies and gentlemen, hands together for our panelists.
Thank you.
Anne-Maria moderating that as well.
Thank
Fantastic.
you guys.
Do you want a quick picture together?
Thank you for
I
being
guess
here.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you do. Who doesn't? Right. Stand here. There we are. Quick picture together. There we are, on her tiptoes. Wonderful. There we are. Thank you so much. Listen, what we're going to do, we are just going to wait for just a few more moments before the room. Can you give yourself a plug? It depends what it is. What? Okay, a plug. Okay.
They didn't give me the opportunity to plug, but I do have some newbie-friendly beginner videos on my YouTube channel. Just go to goddess_Lilith if you're new in the industry. And I also do private consulting, so go to goddesslilith.com for that if you would like to info on that, and you can just find me on the floor as well. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Right, so what we're going to do, we're just going to wait for a few more moments before we will get the room will start to fill up quite nicely indeed. An intriguing last debate on stage in a few moments' time. So we'll join you back just a few moments' time as this room gets bigger and bigger, and then I'll be back on stage and we'll kick off. We'll delve into this intriguing, productive battle. We'll call it a battle here on stage in a few minutes' time. 2024. Come on in, take a seat. It's going to get heated. Not just your seats, but also the panel as well. Could be entertaining. Come and join us, take a seat, and we'll get cracking with this last debate here on stage between studios and websites. Studios and websites. Each day so far, so the first day we have a debate, a healthy discussion, which kind of turns into a slightly heated debate, which is what we all love to see and love to hear. But most importantly, it maybe asks the questions that nobody else dares to ask, or perhaps ask questions on behalf of others that maybe don't feel they can ask those questions. So we've been doing these debates yesterday, the day before, and right now, the final debate of the day indeed right now here on stage. And this is essentially between, as you can see on the stage here, studios and websites. Again, that relationship between the two, almost like a marriage, a kind of a marriage that kind of has a bit of everything in it, ups and downs, rocky times, good times. But this debate here, healthy debate, is really to kind of answer some of the questions perhaps that don't always get asked. And again, this will be between not just the people here on stage, but naturally we'll open it up as we always do, open it up to you, the audience. So if you, as this debate continues, pop up your hand. If I see you, I'll come round with the microphone. You can challenge the people here on stage, challenge what you've heard as well. If you have a question that you're dying to have answered, again, you can use this. This is the time to do it during this 60 minutes together. How does that sound? Sound good? Absolutely. Right. Let's welcome, first of all, here on stage, the studios and those representing those studios as well. So please, a round of applause for these studios. Gloria Agency, Models for Models, Best Studios, and Studio 20. Studios, come and join us. There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just up to here. There we are. Take a seat. There was quite a round of applause, quite a strong round of applause for you guys. Let's, I was just saying there was a round of applause, and there's even more, so you're quite popular so far. Right, we will continue now, inviting to the stage those representing websites. So please, again, put your hands together for Live Jasmine, Bongo, Cams, X-Love, and Strip Chat. Please come and join us. So you think that was a bigger applause? I don't know. Where was the bigger? Actually, no, this is what it's okay. It's okay. Listen, again, this is an open debate, a healthy debate. Let's hear it again. Let's find out whether there was a bigger applause. So, round of applause for our studios. Yeah, okay, that's not bad. Round of applause for our websites. They're going. I don't know, but that could be deceiving. Please don't. But just the noise can sometimes be deceiving. So don't base it anything on what our audience is saying, which essentially isn't what this is about. Right? Okay. First of all, microphones are on the table. Grab a microphone that's nearest to you if you can have one. If we're not having one for everyone, just share if you need to. There's enough microphones there. What we'll do right now, again, please don't hold back. I know, Maria, you don't do that anyway, but that's okay. You're in the right place at the right time. Don't hold back, both sides, and also to the audience as well. Because again, sometimes, we kind of need these kind of sessions to kind of delve into areas which maybe are not always addressed and perhaps just need a little bit more focus and highlighting as well, which I think everybody here would agree. Right, so we'll start off with this side. Okay, so you can start off with a question for these guys here for the websites. Away you go. And I open that up to anybody here who wants to do that.
Good morning, everyone.
Afternoon.
We have this debate. I'd like to start by thanking all the sites for the amazing partnership we have. As you all know, they support studios a lot. Our models are always ranked first on the page. They also pay us extra money besides the normal commissions. And that's amazing. We love you guys. Everything is perfect. What can I say?
We can all go home now because everything is so perfect. Thank you for coming.
That's his strategy to warm them up, make them feel good until we hear something coming. Okay.
I'd like to start with a serious question now. So, as we look back in the history, some of you might know I've been doing this since 2000, which makes 24 years. I'm so old again. There was like the first 10, 15 years, we had no relationship with the studios, with the sites, except, signing up on their webpage, creating studio accounts, logging in models. We never met each other for many years. I think it was around 10 years ago that we actually started to connect to each other and, to develop a real live relationship between studios and sites. And in this domain, I think like Jasmine was a pioneer, so you deserve my appreciation. They were one of the first who initiated some sort of like more deep relationship. During those 10 years, I've seen it growing as the sites were more interested in helping studios get the models they need so they can improve their own product. And we were more interested, of course, in learning what they need from us so we can help better our models, because that's the purpose, to help our models make money. However, in the last 2 years, I've seen there's a lot of tension in this relationship between most sites and studios. And I'd like to know, how do you feel it on your side? Of course, it's about money, because prices around the world are growing, our expenses are growing, and I think both sides have a pressure of expenses. And of course, each of us wants more on my plate than yours. And Jasmine was again a pioneer here, cutting commissions and all this stuff, taking away some money from our plate and models' plate. And this is what at some point creates tension. How do you feel about it? Do you feel that's a problem in the, finding a balance, a fair balance of how do you split money between you and us? When I say us, I mean models also, because studios exist just to help models. That's the only reason we are out there.
Hello. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who survived yesterday's night. Very good question. Very good question, since you are totally right. Expenses are going up. Thanks God, incomes are going up as well, or possibilities are increasing too. Communication is very important, as you said as well. These challenges can be solved only if we are cooperating with each other, we are discussing the things with each other, and we are helping each other to solve the issues. If we are communicating, if we are cooperating, then you can tell us what you need. We can tell you what the site needs and what the models needs to do in order to become successful. And if this relationship is strong and we are really solving the issues together, then the issue is disappearing. Okay, so that's what I can advise for everyone. If you are having an issue, let's solve it together.
So, you just agreed of going to 50% commission and stop this scale bullshit, right?
I know that you like numbers, so I'm telling you some numbers. Okay, so if someone is coming on Jasmine, the commission, let's say, or the share of the studios or models is from 30 to 80% plus 20% on referral. It's a level-dependent system, but yeah, it's complex to take it like this, so I'm translating it to other type of numbers. If you are earning $1,000, sorry to say, it's a very low level. But yeah, I think everybody agrees. In this case, your percentage is 35. If you are earning $5,000, which kind of an average on Live Jasmine, then your percentage is 50. If you are earning around 30,000, then your percentage is above 60. If you are earning 100,000, which is happening again on Live Jasmine, then your percentage is 78. So this is my answer about the commissions. If you are calculating it 78%, just try to solve from the remaining 22 the traffic and everything else.
I have a question, and it's not only for Jasmine, because we hear this like incomes per site are growing, but you have more models. Does the income per model is growing as well? Because you can have 1,000 model and get 1 million, but when you have 1 million and 10,000 models, the income per model is going down. But it's not only for Jasmine, it's for all the sites.
Hello, everyone. Very happy to see a lot of people alive today. Thank you, Jasmine, for the great party for last night. Thank you, Strip Chat, for the great party that we had 2 nights ago. Thank you, Bucharest Summit, for putting this together. Magia, to answer your question, the model earnings are growing as well, because with the amount of models that are coming, we are investing. Strip Chat, and I know that our other friends as well are investing a lot in traffic, and not just in the traffic that we invest in with our affiliate sites and everything, and our affiliate team, but also there's a lot of traffic coming from the models, from social media and organic traffic that they're bringing. So yeah, it doesn't stop with the amount of models that come onto the platform. It's just not like a limited amount of traffic, let's say 1 million users, whatever, like just a number. And then that just gets divided, and whoever makes it, makes it. For however many models we have on the site, we are continually buying traffic and looking at new ways to get more users into the room and looking for them.
We all agree that all the platforms and all the studios here have models that have huge earnings. Okay, but let's talk about the also huge influx of models. And how do you, I don't know, try to ensure that they have a fair chance to be successful and not to be overshadowed? Because we all know, I think, the new models struggle a lot on all the platforms.
Yes, hello. So I'm Christian from XLoveCam, so nice to meet you, nice to be here, thank you for the invitation. All right. So just to continue to answer to your question, so in the XLoveCam we have 50%, and the commission is 50%. We are hybrid, like we do freemium and also premium in the site. And yes, we try to for the models to bring a lot of traffic each time. So we are working a lot on it. Try to have kind of really good working on the tube side, just to bring more and more traffic. So very nice traffic. So we are working on it, and we hope that it's working. And voilà.
The only thing I can add is that's communicational issue as well, because we as a campsite, we have too many models to monitor constantly. That's for the studios. If you see that some of your models are not doing top, you can always talk to us. Send us the links to the model's profile, ask for the advice, and we can do that.
Regarding new models, TripChat has a 2-week new model boost for the new models that are coming in. Now, what's happening is, and I've noticed this a lot with studios in specific, and it's not a dig at you guys, it's just at one point I believe that you have your way of doing things and it's an A to Z kind of a strategy, and you think that that will work with everyone, and I understand that that might be the case, but sometimes as we adapt as sites, you should know how to adapt your strategies for the new models as well. Like I said, we do have the two-week period boost for new models, that new models get more traffic than others and are put on a different part on the first page of the site. Consider using mobile as well, because there's another part that you get the traffic from.
Answering the first question, yes, the average income of the models are increasing on Live Jasmine, since we are not letting, let's say, the model count to increase a lot. There is a natural selection. We are cutting as well models not able to earn 10 USD per hour, because we are considering that that's not an amount worth to, let's say, earn on Live Jasmine. So yes, the average is increasing. Answering the second question about the new models, I will not list now all the things what we are doing, because 1 year ago as well I took 5 minutes. So this time I will just explain in one sentence. We are boosting models for 60 days, and we are ensuring that in these 60 days they are getting a lot of traffic.
I want to ask you a bit about, we have a problem with the geo-targeting in Romania, because I think all of you have implemented some sort of either AI or just simple geo-targeting in which you push models to local customers. And I think that works amazing in US, in Western Europe, in South America also. But in Romania, it creates a huge issue. Because, yeah, most of our models don't want to meet their neighbors, you know. And what's happening is they're being actually boosted for the area they're in. We noticed that models broadcasting from Romania have always a huge influx of Romanian traffic, which creates privacy issues for them. And just blocking Romania, which is the option we have in this case, it's dramatically decreasing the traffic. It's not like, okay, we don't show you Romania, but you're going to be okay in the other regions. It's kind of killing the accounts. So do you consider that some regions, and I'm talking particularly about Romania, should not have this local traffic oriented that you use for US or other countries where most of the customers are?
In our part, on Xlovecam part, the traffic is coming more from the language of the model. So she chooses the language we want to talk, like for example, Italian, American, and French. And then we will try to send us this kind of traffic because it's the first language she speaks, so we try to put her in contact with a better contact with the user. Also from the new models from here, for example, we have a kind of new tools who try to push a bit the new model in the front, so in the first page. Not maybe 50% of the new model. We try to random push her in the front page just to let her have more and more traffic, for example.
from what we've seen on Strip Chat, there are a lot of big spenders in Romania as well. So that is the case. There are a lot of big spenders in Romania. And we do geo-target. When she has her ID from a different country, she takes the traffic from the country that she's in and the countries that are around, because we have seen that people from their own country like to see the models from their own country. This is what happened, and this is why Strip Chat was extremely successful in Asia, because those people would not see it. So for us to try, I understand where you're coming from, and I do understand it's a problem of privacy. It's a problem of culture more than anything, because we do know, and I've seen the users in Romania, they're not necessarily the nicest. In our culture in Romania, for how we treat women is not the nicest, and that's the issue. But that's a bigger issue that unfortunately us as sites or you guys as studios cannot fix. For now, that's not something that we're thinking about, like doing separate geo-targeting for models from Romania. Again, like I said, there are users with incredible, huge amount of money that are spending money on the site. You just need to make sure that you get those, and they are coming to the Romanian models mostly. And just, obviously, and all of you guys here, because I'm working with 3 of you, know that you are training your models in such a way that they don't respond badly to a user that's Romanian or something like that. So just, to that, the short answer would be no, we're not thinking about that.
So again, at this point, remember, we opened it up to the public. So if you have if you want to challenge any of our panelists here on stage, pop up your hand and we'll come over with a microphone. Carry on.
On live, Jasmine, it should be the model's decision if the model would like to have traffic from local sources or not. If it's not an issue for the model, I totally agree with all the things Anders said. But if it's not an issue for the model, I would encourage the models to let the local traffic coming in. Because, it's true, even Romanian members spending a lot on models. Not this is the, let's say, main income source of majority of the models, that's right. But we are boosting as well local traffic to the models if they are letting us to do it. So if the model is not banning the country, and if the user is coming from local sources, we are doing a boost because the conversion is much higher.
We're done here.
Okay. We were talking about Romania, okay. How do you see at this point the Romanian market? What are, in your point of view, the opportunities, the challenges? Do you have any kind of plan to help the Romanian market grow? I mean, you said we should adapt to everything that is happening on the platforms, but the sites adapt to our market, to our culture, to our way of working?
I'll answer for Strip Chat. So a short answer would be yes. I think, first of all, I am Romanian, and I've worked with the studio for 6 years. So lucky for me, I do understand the Romanian market, and I understand the models and the struggles that you guys as sites, as studios have with the models, with the members and everything. We started out with having a community manager that speaks the language, because it's so important to have someone that speaks your own language when you're complaining about, even when you're complaining about things. And we have Mida right there in the back of the room, that communicates effectively with all the studios and all the independent models that we have. She's the one to reach out to whenever there's an issue. Now, we are taking into consideration, we are looking at everything that you guys bring to us. If there's any issue or anything, we would appreciate suggestions as well, because whenever a suggestion came out, we try to make sure that if that made sense for the site on a global level, we would implement that. I hope that answers your question.
Does that answer the question? Are you happy with that answer? Kind of.
Do you see like different things in the Romanian market in comparison to other countries, for example? I mean, I know at this point, if 5-10 years ago, Romanian market was very high, not so much.
To be completely honest and transparent, I believe that because Romanians in themselves, we are very strong, stubborn people. We have gone through a lot of struggles and fights in our lives, and we're a little bit reluctant to change. We do believe that we are the best, and there's no one else like us. So there we go. So I do believe it's the problem with the Romanian market studio-wise is the fact that you guys are so you're so focused on fighting between yourselves that it doesn't leave any room to grow and to adapt and to improve. That's what I see. Compared that to Colombian market, for example, compared that to the German market that we have a strong community with studios. I believe you guys fighting between yourselves and the way that you're doing it, it puts you guys down rather than helping you evolve and increase your earnings and putting the focus where it needs to be put.
Mogu, I can see your reaction to that, or just on your face tells me a lot.
I think he's trying to say I'm right, but he cannot.
Is that right? Do you agree? I mean, does that expression show that you agree?
Yeah, this is unfortunately a sad truth, that sometimes we spend too much time fighting each other and trying to, stab each other in the back, and we forget to move forward. I always tried not to. I mean, guys, you know me quite well, and you know that I've always been working on my path, straightforward, never looking on what's happening on the sides, and never taking into consideration. And yeah, I noticed that other countries with a lot of studios, like Colombia, they have a way of putting forces together to, they made a new legislation, right? I'm correct? You made new legislation. And even if they have a competition between each other, it's much more healthy because they unite when something is in the benefit of everyone and they move forward, which we never accomplished in Romania. Years ago, at some point, we tried to create an organization, which was a professional organization for studios, webcaming. Unfortunately, it was a failure because personal egos were much stronger than business mind. So yeah, this is a true. But I think you guys enjoy it sometimes. I think you sit in your offices.
Absolutely not.
And you
Let me answer this for all the sites. No. Yep. We have so much other things to do than to listen to you guys bicker.
When you receive these messages from like, let's not call names now. Hey, no, this guy he did. No, this guy did. No, you don't.
No.
Okay. Liv, you wanted to ask you something very serious. So.
Yeah, one of my questions is like this. In this moment, you have a lot of new models that register every day. I'm pretty sure that you don't have the triple amount of members that register every day. Do you take in consideration to ban the models that are not performing on the sites? Because if a model is there, if we have two models, a good models, and the one that is staying, I don't know, 3 hours per day and making few bucks, she have also some traffic. And from my point of view, I prefer that traffic, if it's 1 or 2 members, doesn't matter, to go to my model or to the other models that are actually working on the site. Do you take this in consideration to do something with the models that are not performing and to create some standards on the sites?
I can answer that. For Bonga camps, no, of course not. We're not going to ban the models if they're not performing. I don't think any of the campsites will do that. What we are encouraging models to do is to help them grow, not to ban them.
Let me answer it for Live Jasmine as well. So as I mentioned, Live Jasmine is a premium campsite and quality is super important for us, and we would like to provide quality services to our customers. It's, from business point of view, not sustainable at all to have models on the website doing just minor things, not performing well, not being entertaining, not being interesting. And it's not good for them either, because they are spending time in front of the camera and not earning money. Then why they are there? So we are trying to help the models to become successful with many tools and other things through the studios as well. And we are doing things in order to not have models on the website who will be not successful. We are giving them chance, as I mentioned, for the new model 60 days, with a lot of boosts. In this period, we are not hurting them for sure. But if after some time the model is not able to reach that 10 USD per hour I mentioned, we are simply removing the Jasmine selected tag, which means that model will not receive traffic anymore. It's simple like this. And it was, I think, one of your proposals back in the time not to have amateur category on Live Jasmine because it's not a quality thing to show. So we followed your proposal and we removed the amateur category as well. So models on Live Jasmine having much more traffic.
I'll answer this as well. A few years ago, I remember a story from Mugur. I think it was Sasha Rose. And this model, who's not streaming anymore, I remember, I think for 3 months, if I'm not mistaken, she was terrible. She was dying on the site. She was working with you guys. She was not performing well at all, but she wanted to. So she wanted to. If at that point, she wouldn't have been given the chance to do it, she wouldn't have made the life for herself that she did afterwards. And I understand where you're coming from, because obviously you want that.
I don't refer to the models that are working, they are struggling. I'm okay with that. The ones that are doing nothing, just stay 2 hours per day and they don't care. It's like low quality models, not in terms of implication. They are there and doing nothing, just logging for 2 hours just to be there.
There are members for each of those. For the ones that you think you would never look at, for the ones that you think are not your type, trust me, there are so many members that look at that model and think that's something for us. Everybody's somebody's type. If there's anything to get from this industry, it's like everybody's somebody's type. So I wouldn't disregard. We have on Strip Chat, we have a variety of models from different sizes and colors and aspects of life which are performing amazingly. Are they my type? I would, if I was personally, would I go and date them? No. But I do understand that that's someone's type, and I think we should give the opportunity to all models. Maybe they're not making it in the first 2 months, 3 months, but they will catch their break, and with that break, they will feed themselves and their families. So no, that's not going to exist.
Yes. We know each other for so many years. I had no idea you date women, so that's new for me.
You did.
We have a problem on Strip Chat. So actually, it's for me, Strip Chat is new. I've known the company. We're both in Limassol. We know each other for 10 years or more since they opened the project from its hamster. We never worked with them because we were a Jasmine exclusive studio for all those 8-9 years. We work with Strip Chat now, not only with them, and we're very happy because new models do receive traffic and they can make a buck from day one, which is very important. And also, if they are innovative, and we're trying to innovate with each of them, they will always find a niche. Doesn't matter if she's tall or small or blonde or brunette or fat or thin or has boobs or doesn't have any boob. It's going to be a niche for her on the site. If she's trying, she's managing to find something. The problem on Strip Chat, from my point of view, is that members have huge expectation for models to meet them. We have like 90% of girls having this push from all members from day one. Hey, we're very nice, I'm giving you a tip, I'm taking you private, give me your number, let's date. And it's increasing every day. And we all know that this is not supposed to happen. And of course, I don't judge anyone, but for me, I'm a studio owner, I'm not pimping, so I'm never gonna allow models to actually date members. But the pressure is there and it creates a lot of issues for us. So do you consider having some more powerful approach? Because your terms and conditions say you're not allowed to do it. And we have SESTA-FOSTA legislation in the US which clearly forbids that. But it's still a lot of pressure. Don't you consider taking some stronger measure? Because you access those chats. You see that they're pushing for this. Let's help each other somehow and try to, lower a bit this pressure from members to go from online to real dating.
I understand what you mean, and it obviously it doesn't work for us either, because if the model actually does accept that thing, and it does happen, what I can do as a site is ban her and ban the user afterwards because they did that. I cannot teach a generation of people how to behave online with women that are streaming and teach them actually that this girl is not actually in love with you. I can't do that. So obviously members are allowed to, within a certain thing, they're allowed to ask things from the model, and it's up to the model if she accepts it or not. In the terms of conditions, like you just mentioned, we have zero tolerance for that thing, because I'm not interested in her taking the member off of my site, and I'm not interested in him taking the model off my site. If you have any suggestions on how this can improve, please let me know, because I would love to hear. Maybe it's something that we haven't thought of before, because I know it's not helping you guys.
We try also, Mogo, we try to build nice tools to avoid these kind of things, the information. We really work on it. We have many kind of moderators team in many worlds and many countries, just to try to avoid it. But we are also working on many tools for that. They are actually working with the AI, etc. So
exactly, that's what I was talking about. I mean, I suppose you guys used Upwork, yeah? It's a very used platform for short work. On Upwork, if you're trying to break the terms and conditions as a user and you're telling a supplier, like, let me send you money to your bank, don't send it to Upwork, when you're using those words, the words disappear and you get this very nice message. Yes. You are not allowed to send money outside Upwork. I would really love when members start saying, hey, I wanna meet you at McDonald's, let's go out for burgers. The site would, the AI would say, of your site would say, like, hey, you are not allowed to take the model outside our platform, or something smarter, it's not in my mind now, to discourage this trend of, because it multiplies with most users being Romanian now. Yeah. So it's like, let's meet across the street at McDonald's. It's becoming increasingly a pressure, and models give up. New models, a lot of them, when they feel the pressure, they get scared, and they kind of,
For now, what I can recommend before I go home and talk to the developers and see how can this be implemented easily, and I do believe it can be, just try to ban the words that are similar to what a member could ask, like întâlnire or a date or something like that. And after that, I'll come back to my developers and we'll talk about it and improve the product.
I have a question. A hot topic. Let's talk about studio protection. Yeah, studios love it. Yeah, we want studio protection. But we have a problem. Models that they are not from this industry, they don't understand what this is. You are not able to work on that site anymore. So I see that StripChat is making huge steps through that, making sure that the studios are explaining from the interview when the models is signing the contract what it means, that you will not be able to work on that site for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. How the sites are dealing with that, because this is a problem. Some of the models, they do find out about this protection at the moment they want to leave the studio, and they go, you cannot work on another studio. Why? Because they have protection and you cannot use that site. What are other sites doing about that?
So we are trying to protect the studio first, because, well, first of all, in Romania we have the best studio of the world. We know that. We are really, the studio in Romania are really strong, really nice. We love the Romanian studios. So we are trying to protect the studio. So if a model want to leave, okay, you have to protect the studio. If she want to come back after 3 months or after 2 months,
the problem is that she doesn't know that she's under a studio that it's using that protection.
But the studio has to explain.
She's not aware of that. The problem is, understand. Some studios, they love protection, but we also have to think about the models and their rights as well.
The student normally have to explain to his model.
As far as I'm talking now, 1 second, Christian. I'm talking now about StripChat. In the protection program, us as studios, we are forced to inform the model during the interview, and the model sign that they know they are working with a studio that has protection. So
I think that's one of the things that we as a campsite should really work on in the future to help models to understand that.
Yes, I'm going to say a few words about protection also, because it's a very It's a major reason of disagreement between models and studios and studios and studios and studios and sites and models and sites. So everybody is kind of pissed off at some point about this. First, I do think the protection is normal and logical, and I'm going to make a short comparison to make it clear. I'm a law graduate. If I go and I hire with a law firm, and I start working with their customers, their clients, and I represent them, and we build a connection. And I decide to leave and open my own law firm, which is perfectly normal at some point. I can't just take away the customers I've been working with. That's unfair. And all law firms have similar agreements, which is the same for a model, and I take responsibility for saying this public. If you come, you work with us, we teach you, we help you grow your account on a specific site. Of course you can leave at any time. I have no problem with you being a CAM model, that's what you do. But I expect you not to go to the same site and take advantage of all the benefits I work for, at least for a period of time. The problem appears that when people don't like each other anymore, they part away, like in any relationship, they tend to, kind of throw it at each other. The other side is always to blame. That's why we have so many fights in court for divorces, right? And that's when people start lying. That's when, for example, when we have models coming from other studios, and they tell us, we had coming from example from you, they tell us we worked with models for models, and we say, you cannot work on StripChat for 6 months. I take you, but it has to be another site. However, there are cases in which some studios and some models are starting to create a fuss about it, and they start lying. I had no idea about this. Yes, it's written in the contract. Yes, I have a separate page just about this topic with 10 lines, which I should read 10 lines, which I signed. But I had no idea. And some of the studios, unfortunately, instead of telling them, as we do, I'm happy to have you, but let's try another site, they try to trick around. And they go to the sites and they say, oh, this poor model had no idea. She told me, and I believe her. And that's how we start wasting time and energy in creating these conflicts, which, in the end, it's something that industry should speak open about. So everybody knows, yes, most studios have protective agreement with the sites they work on. And I do believe it's normal. You have it on Jasmine, right? You have it on StripChat, you have it, everybody has it. And I think it's normal because it's the only way we can protect our business. For those of you who never worked in a studio, we have a 6-month investment recovery period, which means that if we hire a model today, in average, it's going to take us 6 months to reach ground zero. So the money and the time we invest in her are being fully recovered by the growth of income she realizes. So we after 6 months, we are just zero. We didn't make any profit.
I was talking about someone comes into this industry. If I go and work in finances, I will not know which of the companies have protection. I will just go on the hiring process and I will be there and I will sign a contract and I will try to understand that contract, something that I've never read about. I have no idea because these contracts are very, very big. We have like 21 pages and she has to understand it. So I find it very nice what StripChat is doing right now, trying to make sure that the studios, because most of the time studios, they don't tell the model, we are under protection with these sites. So what is Jasmine going to do in the future? Because you are using that, and I don't know if Bonga Camps and Xlove, they are using protection as well. How you make sure that the model, it's understanding that she's working with the studio, that it's under protection?
Well, it's stipulated in the rules. So she knows that in the rules that this studio has a protection from 3 months, etc. But if the studio, the owner of the studio, want to let the model work with another site, she just have to send us an email and say, okay, I let my model work from you again, etc. So it's just a protection for the studio because we know that we do a lot of work with the models to try to make some picture, to try to make a best model ever. That's really nice and we like it. And we involve it, we like it. And then, if the studio considers that the model can work with XLoveCam again before the 3 months protection, you just have to sign to send us a letter. So we try to do it like that, most simple as possible for now.
Yeah, we always trying to explain that to, first of all, our model managers who are working with models and studios, how to explain that to girls who are coming to us with the questions about that. So that's why we have like support teams and model managers and community managers. But that's one of the things that we should work with studios as well. So if you will give us feedback that you need us to explain in some ways to models, to reach out to models, like through social media or whatever internal channels we have, we can always do that.
I just want to add to this, because I understand where you're coming from, Maria, and I understand at the end of the day, I know that we've done it. I shouldn't need to ask for that because they are over 18 and all know how to read. For me to reteach a person about it, I shouldn't need to do it. We did it because we saw that this was a need. But this is the only country that this is implemented in the way that it is. Colombia doesn't have it. You have Juan Carlos here. He doesn't have this. They don't have this. I don't need them to do this. And this is, again, to come back to what I said before, because of the fights that, not you, but like in general, I'm talking about general you, because of the fights that you guys are between the models, it started to get so petty. This is the thing, it started to get so petty that we were like, you know what, okay, make me a damn additional act in which this model was informed, because they're gonna come, they're not informed, they don't read the contracts, blah, blah, blah. I shouldn't need to do this. Like, the studio does have some, you need to tell the model, but this is what we had to do.
What we're going to do, just pause just over to the audience member here for a quick question.
Hello. Andra, I have an idea, and I think it might make it easier for everyone with about protection. What if when you make the on-data verification, you put there a message if it's an account made from a studio with protection? When you make the on-data, make info there and say you're going to register with a studio that has protection for 6 months. And just check the box. I agree with that.
I understand, but there are cases in other countries that most models don't make their own accounts. Other people are opening the accounts for them. So yeah, that would... I understand what you mean, but at this point, you know what? I'm not going to do more than I'm already doing. Because, come on, do you want me to stream for them as well?
Okay. We continue.
Peja, I have a question for you. Certified studios does have more traffic than the other studios?
The short answer is, in average, yes. And I explain the reason. Certified studio means that we are having a strong partnership and we are talking a lot about how to improve our common business. And those models working in the studios getting a lot of help from us, from the studio. And since they know how to be successful, then they are attracting more people because our system is recommending these people to them. Plus, the models are keeping the people, so they are having tons of returning customers. So this is the key. If you are good, you are having a lot of traffic.
Such a sneaky answer. We all know you have that magic button in your office. I've been there, I've seen it. You press it and boom. How do you see the next year? Okay, we had this last year. We are going to have the same meeting next year. What do you see happening in our partnership in the next year? Do you have any plans, any new things coming? Do you feel like something amazing or terrible is going to happen?
Artificial intelligence models.
Maybe. Well, in our part, we are working on the VR cam. Like we have built our cam, our VR cam, our VR system. So actually, it's working quite nicely, really nicely. The traffic is not huge, but we are working on it. So for the last years, we hope that we will be able to have a super good traffic for the VR model. The VR cam in our side is really cheap. in comparison with the other cam VR. So really, really cheap, and we are working on it for example, for the new years.
We already have VR implemented, and I think you guys have it. I think we are working with DreamCam. The team is right there. So whoever wants to work more with DreamCam and with VR on StripChat, which I don't know if it's cheap or it's expensive, but it's absolutely insane and makes a lot of money for the models, which is what we are interested in the most. I think for this year would be more into focus on not killing each other. And then let's see from that, because we're here for support. We're like you see, you all have access to me. You have my personal phone number. Midag is there always to answer your questions for anything that you need. Anything, any solutions, requests, complaints are going to me. I'm hearing them, I'm reading them, I'm sleeping with them. So whatever you guys need, I think we should more focus on a clear communication and just to understand what are your guys' expectations and understand what are our expectations, so we can work together as a whole and make the money that we all know that the models deserve to make.
For us, within the next year, our biggest plan is to open office in Romania, so we can provide local support in your own language to every model in the studio. So that's one of the biggest things we're planning to do.
On Jasmine, we are focusing on two things. One is to drive much more traffic to the community. As you may know, we purchased a lot of products like sex.com, like Loyal Fans, like Spank Bang, and so on. So yeah, the goal is to drive more traffic. The models can easily drive traffic to the room with content. We will provide all the tools for that, and we already implemented some of them. The other thing we are focusing on to make more money with less work, because this is what everybody is expecting. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't like to work. I don't like that. But we have to support the new generation as well somehow. And yeah, AI is a great tool to help us in that. Not necessarily just to create your AI avatar when you are not online, and that can help you to earn money, but AI can help you to understand better how to become successful. AI can help you to generate content to the customers with one click, and you shouldn't invest hundreds of dollars in expensive photo shootings. So yeah, we will provide all of these tools to our models to earn more money with less work.
Do you allow model studios, whatever, to use AI content? Like if we have the model and they want to make a photo shoot on the beach, can I make a photo shoot in the studio and create the beach pictures with AI and upload it on Jasmine?
Yes.
Amazing, I had no idea.
We're learning so much today. Right, so again, remember, this is we open this up to the public as well. So if you have a question, or if you don't agree with what you've heard, perhaps, or you just want to challenge some of the comments that we've heard here on stage, put up your hand and we'll give you the microphone. Right, and perhaps at this stage, we've had quite a few great questions from that side of the stage. Perhaps questions or things that maybe you would love to challenge or ask the other side of the stage, perhaps. Nothing to know.
For my side, just want to say thank you to the studio. Like also to tell you that we need more and more feedback from you. Don't hesitate to give you the feedback. But we have also some small question like, is it easy for you to find new models here in Romania? For example, huh?
As far as I know from the industry, it was never easy to find new models because, first of all, it's a very hard job. Being a model, it's one of the hardest jobs I know. I never been a model myself, but I did log in as a model on both Jasmine and Fur for free just several times to experience the feeling, and it's incredibly hard. I mean, I'm an open speaker. I can speak with you here on the stage for the full day, but when I went online, in front of the camera with the lights on me, I was like, I couldn't find my words for the first minutes. It was terrible. So being a model it's a very demanding job. not only that you're going online, in average, let's say 8 hours per day in our case, sometimes less, sometimes more, but you need to put on the makeup or get dressed, fix your hair, you know, it's shoot some content, send members some content in DMs. It's like at least 10-hour job for a good model, and some of them make it 6 days per week instead of 5. We don't ask them to do it, but they do. Luckily, we forbid them to make it 7 out of 7 because they would, some models would do 7 out of 7, and that would, of course, create burnout. So it's hard to find new models, and what's even harder is to help make money without going into burnout. Because if we push them too hard, because we want to take advantage for the 14-day period, so we tried pushing more on them in the first 2 weeks to get more visibility, and some of them go burnout because they don't know what's happening, and suddenly after 2 weeks they can't wake up in the morning because they're too tired to do it. So it's a very, very difficult process to onboard a model and to reach that point of success. I would say, at least, as I mentioned, not only financially, but training-wise, at least 6 months. Of course, what makes me really happy is that I've seen so many models accomplishing this process and starting from, you know, dreaming of $100 and ending up with making millions. Like Jasmine says, we make models millionaire. I think they make themselves millionaire, but we are there to help. And every time I look at one of my models and I see how far they've gone, I feel a huge personal joy, which sometimes is more than if we make money or not.
I wanna add something. It's hard, and it's something that I've asked most of the sites. It's the stigma of being a webcam model and the fancy thing of being an OnlyFans creator right now. Because if I put an ad right now, we have an OnlyFans agency. If I put an ad right now for OnlyFans models, they will show up 100. If I put an ad with the same amount of money on Google to search for webcam models, maybe I will get 10. So you are not helping with that. I've been asking you to explain this job because one, it comes from the studios. It's like, oh, they want to try to make publicity, but you never came up like OnlyFans to explain about this job. We were talking at the dinner last night. If you go on Netflix, people on Netflix, on shows and movies, they are talking about OnlyFans. And it's a cool thing to have an OnlyFans account, but it's not a cool thing to be a webcam model. Are you planning to do something about that? Because that will be really, really helpful.
We've opened a content platform. So it's called My Club. It's amazing. You guys should try it.
Mike.
It's the same thing as OnlyFans. You are helping the fans part, that it's cool. You are not helping the webcam model, video chatista. Yeah, we have to be honest. It's video chatista. Fuck.
Video chatista.
10 years ago, if you were to put an ad in the papers or on Google asking for porn stars, you would get 5 maybe to come in and, you know, do the casting. If you were to put the same ad for a cam model, you would get hundreds. The market changes. This is the thing. This is the way that I can explain this in the simplest way. It changes, and now because of OnlyFans came out 10 years ago, Maria, they were all expecting to make 15 millions of euros from the point that they started live streaming, and this is what OnlyFans think. When the pandemic hit and every housemaid in America and in Romania thought that she can make money from, you know, selling content of her panties, they started doing that, and this is how it improved. Then their marketing and their budget for their marketing, because at that point they were the only ones, was very high, supported obviously by the cam platform that's behind them, but it was straight marketing.
I'm going to help Maria here because I fully agree with her. I think it's a problem of misconception and misinformation. All these girls that apply for OnlyFans, they do it because they think it's easy. I shoot 5, you know, pussy pictures a day, videos, whatever, and suddenly I make all these billions, which is not happening. I mean, most of you probably have or had an account on OnlyFans. You don't just shoot some content and everybody's buying your content. They have free content everywhere. You need to create a name for yourself. And when they come up and they understand that it's going to be also a lot of work, because they need to promote themselves, they need to open their social media channels, be online every day, do lives and so on, their attraction to OnlyFans decreases.
This, you're describing live cam.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
So what you could help is help us, you know, explain better, inform people there. Let's do a PR campaign. We have good PR agencies. Let's do a PR campaign and tell people that OnlyFans is not the magic solution they expect. Why not?
But it's not about magic. People know that I work into this industry, and I tell them, it's Bucharest Summit. You know what they ask me? Can you get me a t-shirt of Pornhub? Pornhub, it's cool. Can you get me a t-shirt with OnlyFans? It's cool. And when I go and grab them some t-shirts from Jasmine, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna wear this. Why? People will think I'm a webcam model. And that's true. But they will wear that Pornhub saying, I'm a Pornhub actress. They will not care about that. Pornhub, it's cool. They have Twitter, everybody's talking about Pornhub. So it's not a bad thing. OnlyFans, it's cool. You see it right on the cars here in Romania. People don't talk about it.
Give it a few more years. Look what happened to Pornhub. Give it a few more years. X-Hamster, X and X videos. We didn't come out like that. This is why Pornhub got into the stuff that they got into, because we're still a demonized industry. Doesn't matter if it's porn or cams or OnlyFans or content. We're still a very demonized industry with the compliance that we're complying to everything. They make up rules over and over and over again. Give it 5 more years and OnlyFans is going to be in the same shithole that Pornhub was a few years ago, with their houses burned down and everything, because they're still not... I'm going to shut up now.
Yeah, but we are talking about Romania.
Is that a fair comment? What do the audience say? Do you agree with that? What would you say? Here we are, just here on the left.
I also think that in order to make our industry seem like a great industry to be in, it's also a part of the models to not hide and shy away and be not have pride in what they do. I think, I know there's a taboo in many places, in many families. My family don't know, just my sisters know. But I think when people ask me what I do, I explain. I don't shy away from it. And I explain in a kind of way that the more business side of my job, rather than what I'm actually doing, the activities I'm doing when I'm on cam. So I think for us models, we need to be a little bit more proud in what we're doing and not rely on the sites or the studios to make it cool, because I am proud. Yes. So, woo!
All the models that make money are proud, so the solution is all the cam models to make a huge amount of money, so problem solved. That's on you guys, solve it.
And the next t-shirt should be like, I'm rich, I'm a cam model, right?
It should be. You know what's interesting about it? It's the hypocrisy of it all. That, and I think I've said this so many times, women send nude photos to guys that they've just met in exchange for hoping that they come back to them with a good morning message, beautiful, that's sent to everyone, you know, and nobody judges them, and everybody does it. But God forbid, you do the same thing and you get money from it, because that's when you're going to get demonized. And this is not just a Romanian thing. This is a cultural, international thing. It's just that, and again, we're trying as much as we can to change the mentality, but people are still going to be stuck in their ways, because it's easier to demonize something that makes you feel free, like sex, like sexuality. That's the thing.
Okay, very quickly, we're kind of running out of time now, almost wrapping up. We're going to go to this question here. But before we do, after this question, just back to me, and then I'll just a quick question just to think about before you answer it. So in this discussion, this healthy, productive debate, one good thing that you can come away with after this discussion, okay?
Can I ask another question that it's very important for everybody, for sure? Do you know about Duck 7? We all heard about it, and in Romania it's a big problem. What do you think to do it? Because the independent models, they have no idea about this. Yes, you pop up, they read it, they have no idea about this. I think you should do something, because in Romania they changed the law, and if you don't declare the tax, the money, they take 70% of the money. So it's an extra charge. I think you should do something with this and inform the new models or the independent models to pay the taxes and to be very, very aware, because in one moment they will come after you and they will say, I made a lot of money and I don't have nothing because you didn't inform me. Or maybe you should, I don't know, advise them to go to the agencies, to the studios, to somebody to help them. Or maybe you can hire somebody to help them. It's a big problem, and maybe you should take this in consideration.
Okay, do you quickly want to answer that one before we go into the last question? Would you like to answer that, or just hold it for now?
If they didn't read the news, what more can I do? Go to their house? We have this. We have invoices that the models can download so that they take it through their... This is why we did it. So you have invoices now. You can download your invoice from StripChat, and you can put that into with your accountant. There's just so much that you can do to help someone with the pop-up, with the news, with everything. Besides that, I don't know what else we can do.
Yes,
okay. Okay, we'll move on. We'll hold it there. Right, over to our question there. Go for it.
I just wanted to comment on what you guys were talking about, branding and stigma around cams, because I came from cams and I also found success on fan sites. I think that the cam sites probably have a really good opportunity with it being a live forum to maybe run a press campaign saying, you know, when you're on a fan site, you could be talking to chatters, but when you're on live cam, you're talking to the models. And that could perform really well in terms of not just making it cool and making it authentic, but highlighting that, because that's a huge disadvantage the users face on the fan site specifically. So just wanted to comment.
I don't know if the users actually do know that they're talking to chatters.
I get asked every day.
Yeah, they're starting to know. We've seen them. All of them are asking, it's not really you, it's somebody typing, yeah. Or they ask for, send me a picture now and do the sign, something to verify that it's a model back there.
Like verification pictures on Reddit, you know, send me a picture with a fork.
Right. We're kind of wrapping up now. So as I said just earlier on, a couple of minutes ago, if there was one thing that, when you walk off this stage and you think about this session that you've had here, panelists on stage, one thing that you can take away with you that you've learned that is a good thing from this discussion. There must be something.
It's
it's
obviously compared to last year, which was more like, heated, that we did a better job in communicating with each other. I think we have a decent relationship, even if we don't work with some of the sites here, which can always change, which is good. I mean, I think that these three sides of the business, which is model studios, campsites, the more we talk to each other and the more that we share what we expect from the others, the easier it is for us, to improve overall and create more revenue for everyone, despite, of course, the, basic disagreement who keeps most of the money, which for now, unfortunately, is the sites. But that's how life is, and I'm not going to change the world probably even if I want to.
You guys work with so many sites. We just work with like you guys. Shut up. It's okay. You make money. I actually had a question, if I may, for you guys. And I've listened because I'm so sorry. I apologize for not being present yesterday at the debate that was here today. Yesterday, it was extremely sick. But I've heard models say that they want support, or they want, when they reach out to a site, they want to know what they're doing wrong. Besides, going through the technical stuff of it and like looking at the what do you guys expect? Like, what kind of answer do you expect when you're coming to us and say, like, check this model, what is she doing wrong, or how can we improve? Like, what are the things that we should be looking at as well?
That's an amazing question, because what we expect, we don't really get. We expect you to look at what you see from your site, which is like, she has a lower conversion of members to paying members, or guests to members, or she's keeping people less in her room, so it's something about her activity, or her tipping rate, it's lower, or her private, it's, tell me what's wrong, because you see the whole picture. you see how is this particular model performing and what she does better or less good than anybody else. And I need your data because I'm not in your back admin, unfortunately. I need your data so I can know how to improve my model. Is it an issue with her feature behavior, with her private, with her communication skills, with the retention of members? I can imagine this as a studio, but you can give me real data, which helps me a lot.
Very, very quickly.
Besides, of course, for her to have more traffic in her room. Magically.
For sure.
The buckets are there. I'm going to send them. Buckets of traffic.
Okay, are we happy? We're happy. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you'll agree with me. Again, another healthy, productive, informative discussion. This relationship, which is many layers to it naturally, but hopefully this discussion here can just help us get a little bit closer to maybe bridging some of those gaps. And you'll agree as well, these kind of discussions are really welcome in all industry, but certainly in this industry as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please, hands together for all our panelists who gave up their knowledge, expertise, and their time as well. Right, guess what? That is the end of Bucharest Summit here in this hall, but again, it continues in the other halls in front of me there, and naturally all this afternoon. And this evening, remember, a fantastic awards ceremony, also together with, I believe, a fantastic party afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you all at the awards and the party.